Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in and focusing in on really how to get out of the grip of narcissistic abuse or abuse by a psychopath. Someone, in essence, who really has quite a bit of pathology, a personality disorder, someone who is extremely selfish, self-interested, really someone who has a heightened self-importance, and not just to the fact that they're maybe leading and directing their life, meaning in charge of their life, but really, at a pathological level where this really involves to the point where they're hurting others, they're neglecting others, they're exploiting others, they are hurting and emotionally abusing others through blame shifting, through manipulation tactics, through control tactics, and essentially getting people tend to either tolerate it or get to a point where they are really trying to break through the fog and really kind of get to the other side of that abuse. And that is the focus of this video here today, and really what is involved. And I think it's essentially a feeling that you have to have within that's going to precede really the experience. So let's just recap here and realize that a narcissist or a psychopath will largely be comprised of several components. In other words, having an excessive self-importance about their personality, and which will lead them to do all sorts of crazy making and chaotic behaviors in terms of gaslighting, pathological lying, brainwashing. Really, it's a control tactic where they are, in essence, positioning themselves as superior above and beyond the people in their environment, particularly even their family and close intimate others. So this self-importance coupled with a lack of empathy, meaning they physiologically do not have the mental capacity to understand the feelings, needs, wishes, and interests of another. They're not able to connect, they're not able to tap in there. So just real quickly, understanding that about the narcissist or the psychopath. Of course, the psychopath is an even higher degree of pathology than the narcissist. But then understanding that they will incorporate, the narcissist will incorporate many tools that are designed to manipulate and control others and have power over others. So really, and this can be in the form of name calling, where they just outright are insulting, lambasting you, criticizing you through names which are not true. Oftentimes, though, early in abuse, people do absorb this and they feel like I am less than, I am inferior, I am flawed. So they've internalized this, resulting in direct low self-esteem, which is not been empowering experience for them at all, and it usually generally affects all areas of their life. So realizing that these tactics to name call, to put you down, to put people down, to keep others underneath, to blame shift, which means always criticizing your intention. You can never do anything right. You can never do it good enough. You shouldn't be asking for this. You shouldn't be asking about that. Why are you even bringing this up? Constantly questioning you and where you're coming from. And this experience is called walking on eggshells, where basically, you're so, everything is under scrutiny by them and everything is under judgment by them, that in essence you can't just behave normally and naturally, because they're constantly have this need to control, which means control your reaction, control your actions. You can't just have a flow to your life. Excuse me, I have a scratch. Ow. So you can't just have a flow to your life. No, they wouldn't permit that. If they're not in control of how you're acting, how you're reacting, then they begin to become upset because they're no longer in a position of power over you. So that's oftentimes where you get the narcissistic rage, or they get shut down temporarily. Always be careful, though, that they don't come back with even a more calculated tactic to try to lure you and hoover you back in. So realizing that these tactics, denying of your personal reality, not letting you speak up, always questioning you, are an attempt to basically shut you down as a person. So how do you evade this? How do you really get to the other side? Well, for one, really try to identify and understand that these are tactics of control that are demonstrated and perpetrated again and again in a cycle by a narcissist. So they're very repetitive, they're very resistant to change, which means the narcissist is going to inflict the same viewpoint on you repeatedly. So in other words, they really don't have a huge adaptive power because of their lack of empathy. They're not able to kind of, perhaps even grow and adapt in certain areas of relationships. So if you can really just, even when you're in the midst, either prior to engaging with them or in the midst of the relationship, realize that this is a manipulation tactic when they try to criticize you, knock you down, say, you don't know where you're coming from, or why do you want that, or why do you want this, trying to negate your needs. Try to really learn, go through these videos and really learn what is their agenda. Where is that narcissist really coming from? Are they really, are they trying to keep me under control? Are they trying to overpower me? What in essence is really going on? What is their motive? Learn to really kind of ask some of those questions so you can realize in essence if they're for you, meaning supportive, understanding your feelings, needs, wishes, desires, your goals, and helping you get there, or if they're being more toxic and combative and in essence trying to keep you under their control and as an extension of them, not giving you the right to your very own life. So once you can realize these tactics, imagine that the narcissist is engaging in these behaviors, but that you are really beyond that. So really try to envision yourself as surrounded and protected by your own truth. If you can almost imagine even like a big round white bubble just surrounding yourself of pure brilliant white light, which is your holy, which is your pure perspective, which is your truth, which is your empowerment. And just imagine this surrounding you. And this is a very sort of a luminous experience in that the narcissist cannot taint that. The psychopath cannot dull that this is your light, this is your luminosity, and this is your perspective. And just realize that they're almost trying to tackle you like a football player. They're coming at you like an attack, and imagine that you just step right out of the way and are really out of their reach. And as you begin to imagine this, begin to imagine it and then really start to experience this in your encounters with them. See if you can stop, reacting or caving in or being hoovered in, and seeing if you can instead stay in your power and begin to observe and realize the tactics. And as you do, I think that clarity will do some and bring about some tremendous and wonderful, beautiful changes for you in your life and your energy. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.